I think it's something that you need to think about. And of course, people are coming to this knowledge now, which is why they wish to shut down the internet and replace it with Internet 2, which is their plan for around 2012. They're just going to sort of let the internet overload and then open up Internet 2 because they say the terrorists, inverted commas, are winning the cyber war. I mean, because people are waking up to the corrupt government, so of course the terrorists are winning the cyber war. So, yes, folks, there's something going on. The Illuminati do exist. It's not much. If you've got to write to me and ask me, do I really think they exist? All I can suggest is that you look around a little bit, and I think you will find that they do. And I think you really need to think very, very hard about it. Okay? Just stop and wait for a minute and realise that, like in World War II, Hitler didn't just up and start World War II. You can't just start a war. You need funding from people who see the loan as a good investment. And the same people who financed Hitler were the same people who financed England. It was the Rothschild banking dynasty. And they sat back and raked huge, huge profits from that war at a huge loss of life from everybody else, and they've been doing it ever since. And they've got control of the entire world pretty well now. They've got control of all Western nations. They've got control of your nation. They've got control of my nation. The whole thing's operated out of England. America is still controlled by England, folks. And you probably don't realise this, but it is actually still controlled by England. And here in Australia, we're way down the food chain because Australia is actually a corporation that is listed on the stocks and index markets in the District of Columbia. So we're actually owned by the Corporation of the United States of America, which itself is owned by the Crown Corporation, which is a British organisation. So that's the way it goes. So you need to think about that. And they're able to do this because they can magically print money from thin air. So have a little bit of a think about that. We're going to go for a break in a second, and I'll talk to you after the break. But do you see how that works, folks? Do you see how that works? In this way, they control and they enslave you with a corrupt monetary system designed to keep you in debt to them. I'll see you after the break. So just take that in what I was saying before. Understand how this works. Understand that these bankers that are doing all this, okay, these people are not rulers. They're not kings. They're not elected world leaders. They're 13 private families. They've been able to get away with it by controlling your money and by controlling your media. And in the meantime, they've infiltrated agents in the key areas of politics and government, and these people have passed legislation to remove people's rights and then elevate themselves into positions where they're now above the law. Okay, and our politics is supposed to be conducted out in the open, not by members of so-called secret societies. Yet all the prominent world leaders are all members of these secret societies. So it's just one privately run scam, folks. So that's the way you've got to look at it. That's what it is. So there really is no question about this. You know, one of the cleverest tricks they ever played was to maintain their invisibility and to convince people that they didn't exist. But the history, the money trail, it abundantly shows that it is this group of people who are responsible for all the global tension. Now, these people work very, very close in with this bloodline that I've been talking about that goes way, way, way back to like ancient Egypt and beyond. This is the same bloodline which comes through. It's just so interconnected and so involved that it goes through all the European rulers, eventually culminating in the British family that's sitting on the throne now, which are actually a German family, the House of Windsor. They are actually the Saxe-Coburg-Gotha family, who were brought in from Germany, who changed their name to Windsor just after World War I believe, because the English people were a little bit sort of wondering why their rulers had a German name and such a thick German accent. So, but this stuff's never reported and it's never investigated, and you never see it or think about it because you're kept distracted by the media. You know, distracted with wars between the good guys and the bad guys, whom these people create themselves. You're distracted with humanitarian situations brought about by the manipulation of money, food and resources and information by them. You're kept distracted by bills, by propaganda, by religious tension, and all of it is ultimately because of circumstances contrived by them, so you don't wake up to what's happening around you. And at present, most people are controlled by a fear against a shadowy enemy that the people themselves have brought into being. So Yeah, that's what's going on. People need to understand this, that the mayhem created, the terrorist cells and wars and religious tensions, and it's all cooked up, the whole thing. And with each terror attack, instead of blindly believing what you're told by the media, just realise that it is these same families who are in control. Now ask yourself every time, who stood to gain from this terrorist attack? Because when a country gets bombed for carrying out a terrorist attack on someone, well, you can sort of wonder if that country really gained anything from the terrorist attack. So that's just something to think about. I think we have a caller here. We've got Mark from Georgia on the line. So we'll see what Mark's up to. How are you, Mark? Are you there?
Yes, I am. I've been listening.
What can I do for you?
A couple times now, and went to your website. Pretty interesting. What can you tell me about this Marshall Summers?
Marshall Summers. Well, I don't know. That's very interesting, my friend. I saw that and I thought, well, I don't know. I don't know what I buy into the ET thing. I don't know what quite to think about the whole thing. So I saw that and I thought, well, this sounds like a very possible scenario. So I thought, I just don't know. So I'll put it out there and see what people think about it and see what sort of response I get. So I narrated the 5 briefings from Marshall and I put them up on YouTube just to see what people's responses would be, because it sounds quite sort of feasible, and I just don't know. I mean, when you look at things, you find out that there's definitely something going on. You've got to wonder whether we're in charge of this place the way it's run. You really do. So I just thought I'd put it out there and see what you think, and see what people think, and see what sort of response I get. What do you think of Marshall Summers, Mark?
That's pretty much exactly what I was thinking was, who is in charge of this place?
Well, you got to wonder, don't you? Do we really need to strip mine and deforest this planet and depopulate this planet and put all these poisons in the water and food to maintain our lifestyle? That's the question, isn't it? And I don't know, call me weird, but I'd swear that this place is being strip mined around us.
Did you run across anything similar to what he says?
Well, I haven't from anybody else. I've heard a few people say that there's a chance that something like this is going on. I mean, you hear a lot of people talk about, okay, that we're being visited. There's abductions going on. There's aliens. There's flying saucers. There's all sorts of stuff going on. People are always saying this. You have to wonder how much of it's true and how much of it isn't. I personally, actually, and I have no qualm saying this, in the year 2000 I saw a UFO over Bundaberg. I was with 7 other people. It was 10:15 in the morning on a bright sunny day, and there was a huge big disc in the sky with a big pulsing light on it, and it just hung there for 5 minutes, and then it disappeared like someone flicked a switch. I have no qualm saying that. I saw it with a whole bunch of people, and the next day, like, about 200 people rang up the newspaper and reported it. So I know something's going on. I know anything's possible.
Well, the sighting's been going on for years and years and years. They don't report them as much, but the sighting and the reports are out there.
Oh, they're very out there. I mean, the question is, are they aliens, or are they coming from here? Are they secret technology that we own? Are they multidimensional? What are they? That's the question.
Well, there's a lot more things out there smarter than we are, the way I look at it.
Well, yeah, I think there probably are, but I think that's probably just due to our consciousness. See, what I think, Mark, is that everything that can be known, we already know. I think it's all part of this energy that I talk about, the divine matrix, the creator, whatever you like to call it. I think that every time, every moment that's ever happened in time, whether future or past or present or any time, it already exists in the collective consciousness. All we have to do is look to find it. I think we already know all there is to know. We've just forgotten.
All right, well, thanks for your input there. I really appreciated your site, and appreciate that stuff you put up there. I've been trying to follow all those links on there and see where it takes me.
Well, I hope you find something that helps you out and answers some of your questions for you, Mark. It was a very interesting thing to bring up, and I'm glad you did. Thank you for calling.
All right, good night.
Good night.